Before this sniper rifle existed, distance meant safety. 4 generations of soldiers. Being far away from the enemy meant protection, survival, and time to react. Battlefields had limits, and those limits were defined by how far a weapon could reach with accuracy. If you were far enough away, you were considered untouchable. But when this rifle appeared, it didn't just extend the range of combat. It erased the idea of safe distance entirely. Warfare would never be the same again. For most of human history, combat was personal and visible. Soldiers faced each other across open ground, firing inaccurate weapons that relied more on numbers than precision. Muskets and early rifles were slow, unreliable, and limited by poor accuracy. Officers stood openly on the battlefield, directing troops with confidence. Distance offered protection, and formations defined the flow of war. But as technology advanced and conflicts became more complex, these traditions began to break down. Armies soon realized they had a growing problem. Battlefields were expanding, weapons were becoming more lethal, and traditional tactics were no longer enough. Soldiers needed a way to see farther, strike precisely, and neutralize threats without revealing their position. Machine guns controlled open terrain, and artillery shaped movement, but neither could offer quiet, precise control at extreme distances. Something was missing, a weapon that could reach across the battlefield silently and decisively. That need gave birth to a new role in warfare. Not just a rifle, but a concept: the sniper. And when this particular sniper rifle entered service, it did not arrive with noise or spectacle. It wasn't designed to overwhelm with firepower or dominate through volume. Instead, it relied on precision. Extreme accuracy, advanced optics, and consistency at long range allowed a single soldier to influence an entire battlefield. One shot could change the outcome of an operation. One moment could alter history. The true power of this rifle was not only physical, it was psychological. Enemy soldiers began to fear open ground. Officers avoided exposure. Movement slowed, not because shots were constantly fired, but because they might be. The uncertainty alone was enough to change behavior. Troops stopped standing tall. Commanders adjusted routines. Entire units altered their tactics, not in response to what had happened, but in fear of what could happen next. That invisible pressure became one of the rifle's most powerful effects. Before this sniper rifle, distance provided protection. Command posts could be visible, observation points could remain exposed, and movement across open terrain was manageable. After its introduction, distance became dangerous. Visibility became a liability. Every movement required planning and discipline. Armies were forced to adapt, introducing camouflage standards, concealment techniques, and counter-sniper awareness. The battlefield transformed into a place where every detail mattered, and every mistake carried consequences. This rifle represented more than metal and glass. It marked a shift in how wars were fought and understood. Combat was no longer just about mass and momentum. It became about precision, patience, and control. Long-range engagement allowed fewer shots to produce greater impact. Efficiency replaced volume. Strategy replaced brute force. This new philosophy reshaped infantry doctrine, reconnaissance missions, and special operations planning across the world. Despite how it is often portrayed, sniping was never glamorous. It demanded patience, discipline, and mental endurance. This rifle did not create heroes, it created responsibility. Every shot carried weight, and every decision had lasting consequences. That seriousness shaped how modern militaries viewed precision weapons, not as tools of aggression, but as instruments of calculated control. As the impact of this sniper rifle became clear, other nations took notice. They studied its design, analyzed its effectiveness, and developed their own long-range systems. These were not simple copies, but evolutions. Better optics, improved ballistics, and specialized training followed. Long-range combat was no longer optional. It became an essential part of modern warfare. Years passed, conflicts evolved, and technology advanced, but the influence of this rifle never disappeared. Modern sniper systems, no matter how advanced, still follow the same principles it introduced. Precision over volume. Accuracy over speed. Control over chaos. Its legacy lives on not just in weapons, but in military doctrine itself. This sniper rifle did something few weapons ever achieve. It didn't just win battles, it changed how battles were fought. It redefined distance, reshaped fear, and rewrote tactics. Warfare became quieter, deadlier, and more calculated. Once combat crossed that line, there was no return. Today, when we look at modern battlefields, we can still see the shadow of this rifle. In how soldiers move, in how commanders plan, and in how wars are fought. It proved that a single weapon, used with discipline and precision, could change the course of history. This was not just a sniper rifle. It was a turning point. And once long-range combat changed, it changed forever.